Today, I'm going to discuss why I think a lot of altcoins will be going lower and why I think this is a good spot to de-risk from certain altcoins. I'm going to discuss the Bitcoin price action, and then I'm going to discuss the optimal positioning heading into the extreme volatility we'll see as we get closer to the elections. Before we start, please remember that nothing in this video is financial advice and I am not a financial advisor. Okay, to preface this video, the last two market update videos I made was first calling the market bottom on August 5th, and then the second one reaffirming that view in September and discussing how I felt that most of the pain was over and our focus should now be on being optimistic and anticipating higher prices. Now, in just a moment, I'll tell you if that view has changed in these last 7 weeks. But the reason I'm bringing this up to you now is just to show you that I'm not one of these YouTubers who makes videos every day, flip-flopping between bullish and bearish. I typically have one view and I hold on to it for many months, and that's exactly how it should be. I think at the moment, what we're seeing is Bitcoin pricing in a Trump victory, which I said was a bullish catalyst in early August, and now we're seeing it play out. I think a lot of the buying to get here is speculative in nature. If you take a look at the open interest, you can see how high it's gotten. It's actually higher than the first all-time high that we had this year. This indicates to me that it's likely we can have a very sharp correction or a major liquidation event. Now, I want to make it clear, nobody in this market has any real idea what Bitcoin is going to do. If it breaks this all-time high, it can trigger a cycle of reflexivity as breakout traders and sideliners FOMO in, taking prices to like 80k. But it can also break down and correct quite hard. So when you don't have any significant edge or clear reading of the situation, it's best to keep it as simple as possible. I've told you since August that I felt the sentiment had reached an extreme and the pendulum is swinging the other way now. I also said that I felt that most of the pain is over, given the fact that we had this torturous 7 months in crypto with altcoins bleeding significantly. I'm happy to say I still hold that overall view. I think regardless of what happens to Bitcoin during the elections, the best play is to hold strong core conviction holds and just ride it on out. But with that being said, that's not the purpose of this video. The main reason I'm making this video is because I think this is a good minor inflection point in the market to sell all bags that you no longer have conviction in. And the reason I think that is because, firstly, Bitcoin dominance is still in a very strong uptrend. Everyone's trying to call a top on this. But when Bitcoin dominance is in such a strong uptrend, if we do get a fear-based liquidation event with Bitcoin correcting, altcoins are going to shit the bed so hard. I believe certain altcoins really can revisit their August 5th lows. And in fact, a lot of terrible altcoins are already doing that. When you consider the fact that even if Bitcoin does break out, make a new all-time high and go to 76 to 80k, a lot of altcoins simply won't follow up. But at the same time, with Bitcoin being in a semi-risky zone with potential shakeouts or huge liquidation events, these altcoins become extremely risky to hold and have considerable downside. That's why I think where we are in the market right now, it's an ideal spot to shave off low conviction bags into USDT and then using that USDT to bid any potential shakeouts that the market provides in altcoins that you actually want to hold or believe in. A lot of you are likely in altcoins with heavy losses or things you were up big on but gave back a lot of profits. Or maybe you don't have conviction on it and you know deep down if you had new stables in the market, you wouldn't buy that coin again. But the thought of accepting that loss is really painful to you. I totally understand that feeling, but I also think sooner or later, we all have to bite the bullet and make moves in the market that we know are right for us. Lots of people hold altcoins that they don't really care about anymore, but they still hold it because they think if it just pumps just a bit more, I'll sell it and move it to something else. But it's more likely that by that point, the altcoins you prefer will have pumped so much more, which would be a huge opportunity cost. And when you boil it down, the reason we do this to ourselves is purely emotional. And you know there's no room for emotion in this game. That's why I believe right now, given the context of what's made the Bitcoin rally, given the Bitcoin dominance uptrend, and given the open interest, this is one of the most logical spots to make that move. Now, I know a lot of people will be asking me, what are those coins that I should be de-risking and getting out of and using that capital to bid new plays. That will require a separate video to this one, so subscribe, otherwise you're going to miss out on that really important video. Now let me be clear, I'm not saying sell any altcoins that you believe in. My analysis from August 5th and September, where I said we've just started the pendulum swing back up to major greed and euphoria, has not changed. What I am saying is the following, so please listen closely. I think this is a decent spot where it makes sense to make tough decisions like cutting ties with the losers for the cycle, and that's because Bitcoin has a high likelihood of giving a really powerful or deep correction, which will lead to more downside on weak altcoins. But at the same time, it will give you entries on altcoins that you actually want. Having USDT will make it easier to free yourself from the mental block associated with those altcoins. It's hard to make the switch when you're already seeing so much blood in the altcoin that you want to get rid of. So this is more of a psychological tool to help you manage that. And it makes sense to at least do it with a small percentage of your portfolio, not financial advice. I'm very bullish on crypto overall. On a medium to long-term time frame, I will not be touching any of my core conviction bags. But even recently, I took an extra 10% or so into cash from things like Ondo, which have served me really well this cycle, but I found far better plays now where I can compound that money. Of course, you have to deeply know the coins that you're thinking of selling. Selling because the price action is bad is not a strong enough reason. For example, I'm selling Ondo because I know there's gruesome unlocks coming up in just 2 months. So don't act based on emotion over seeing red candles. For example, Casper, which I'm making a video on, nothing's really changed fundamentally, and selling this now is akin to panic selling, which in my opinion is really bad. I've done extensive research recently, and I've got a short list of really bullish altcoins I'll be buying aggressively on any major shakeouts that we get. I'm in the process of accumulating something I think could really explode this cycle. If you want to see what those altcoins are, join the premium service, try it out for 1 month, and see the altcoins I accumulate. I release full plans on what I buy, how much I intend to buy, and what multiple X I intend to sell at. Now for the next 12 months, I'm completely focused on client research and releasing and sharing the best plays I can possibly find. So these sorts of market update videos will come once every few weeks, and the coin focus videos will ramp up. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Premium. The link to it will be in the description and in the pinned comments.